Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Keith from the K&B Music Den, and here we are once again, unfortunately, doing a tribute video to a true music legend. David Crosby has passed away today at the age of 81. When you think of David Crosby, when I think of David Crosby, you think of that voice, that beautiful voice, which I guess in some ways takes away from how great of a musician and songwriter he was as well. But I don't think he would necessarily mind that he's known for his vocal ability, his lead vocals, harmony vocals. For me personally, I've always been more of a harmony singer than a lead singer in my music endeavors. And so he's, I guess, what I would call one of my harmony heroes. Art Garfunkel, Mike Mills of REM is another one for me. There's so many that I'm forgetting now. Obviously, from the Beatles, they all did harmony and lead. But yeah, David Crosby had that. He didn't just have the range and the tone, but he also, if you watch any live footage of David Crosby, he always knew just how far away to be from the microphone, not to overshadow the lead vocal, to blend with it. There were times, of course, with Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, the Byrds, there was a lot of, 3, even 4-part vocals. So sometimes it was just like that wall of sound where it was kind of like everyone was almost like a, equal level. But if there was ever a time when, Graham Nash needed to be highlighted and he needed to do the harmony, he was there, and it was crystal clear and it was beautiful, but it was never overbearing. It was always perfect, I guess is what I'm getting at, which is why he is, one of the many reasons why he is, and was, it's hard for me to get used to saying that, but was a music legend. I don't claim to be a huge historian of David Crosby's career. I'm familiar, obviously, with the Byrds. He was with the Byrds when he was younger, and I don't know if you can see this picture here from the Byrds box set that I have, but his baby face there. It's hard to actually think of him without having long hair and facial hair. That's David Crosby. But of course, then you get to another picture of him on the same page of the same box set, and okay, there's the mustache, there's the long hair. There's the David Crosby we know and love. And I was thinking to myself as I came down to the music room here to do this video after I heard the news, I was thinking, I know I have some Crosby, Stills, and Nash stuff, Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, and I was trying to remember, do I own a physical copy of a David Crosby solo album? I'm familiar, obviously, and I've listened online. I have unlimited Apple Music, so I've listened to his stunning solo debut and some of his other solo work. But I was thinking to myself, I don't think I have anything, a physical copy, even a CD of his debut or anything. And I looked to be sure, and I don't. So that's a failing on my part that I hope to rectify soon. But what I do have, I have some vinyl. I've got Crosby and Nash, Wind on the Water album. CSN. So now we're adding Stills, right? Now we got the 3 of them going. Chilling on the boat there. And no serious record collection is complete without the absolutely landmark, fantastic album, Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, Deja Vu. Always love the artwork on this and the feel of the vinyl, like kind of that leather-bound type feel. There's our guy, David, there. And I also am lucky enough to own CSNY So Far. some of you remember that the artwork for this was painted by Joni Mitchell, I believe in 74, which is the year of my birth. So, yeah, lots of great songs on here. It's kind of like a compilation, I believe. And this is the legendary double live album, Four-Way Street, which I do have on compact disc. And I do have one DVD, Crosby, Stills, and Nash. This is from, I think, 84, did I read earlier? I'm sorry, 83. 1983, this was filmed. There's the gentleman there. Daylight again. This is fantastic if you can get your hands on this. There they are. And I do have a magazine about the Byrds as well. And there's a whole section on just David Crosby and then what he did after the Byrds. Obviously, all the stuff I just showed you. And then his legendary solo debut album, If I Could Only Remember My Name, is the title. If you've never heard that album, I mean, this would be a great time to do it and pay tribute to the man. What a fantastic album. My gosh. There's another great shot of David there. So yeah, a lot of our legends are getting to a certain age. I think it's, I hate to say it, I hope I'm wrong, but I think it's going to be a rough year. So yeah, just thinking of his family and all the fans that love him and his music. Again, for me, it always comes back to the vocals, but there's so much more than that with David. So I don't want to shortchange any of his other amazing talents on guitar and as a songwriter, a co-writer. But yeah, I mean, when I think of David Crosby, I think of that angelic voice. And he was a character, you know, he had an edge to him. I read that the reason that he had some struggles with the other guys in the Byrds, and it eventually led to his being asked to leave the Byrds. He really didn't want to record covers after a certain point. Once they got, you know, known, he wanted to do only originals, and they disagreed. So, you know, for myself as a songwriter, I respect the hell out of what happened there. And hey, he did pretty well after leaving the Byrds, and made some fantastic music with the Byrds, of course, don't get me wrong. But yeah, this is a rough one. So this is my humble, hopefully brief tribute to David Crosby, who once again has passed away today at the age of 81. But he leaves behind a legacy and some fantastic music. So do yourself a favor. And if you're not overly familiar, anything that he's on is worth listening to. But particularly that debut solo album of his called If I Could Only Remember My Name is just... I don't think it gets the attention it deserves. So maybe today it will. So, and moving forward. So, hate to have to do these videos, but I do want to pay tribute. And yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I'm getting to that age where the people that I grew up idolizing are going on to a better place, but it's tough for the ones they leave behind. But again, in cases like this, they left and are leaving a lot behind for us music lovers and fans. So, David Crosby is gone at the age of 81 today. So I implore you to listen to his music and pay tribute to the man and the music legend, David Crosby. For the KMB Music Den, I am Keith. Thank you for your time, and rest in peace to David. Take care. See you soon.